happy Friday. Today is a beautiful day outside. It just started to snow and the weather is super nice. And as I was recently became a wife, I discovered my new hobby, which is cooking. And I also deeply believe that really nothing brings people together like a good meal. And that's why I wanted to start this page, which I'll be sharing all of my recipes and all of the things that I've made for my family. I've already started this page on Instagram, but today is a special occasion, which is the day that I want to share this page on Facebook. I thought, why not start with something that's super close to my heart? As all of my friends know, but for some of you who don't know, I'm a Vietnamese and I'm currently living in America. And so home food is always super close to my heart, and like finding an authentic Vietnamese food restaurant here, it's kind of hard. I love the restaurants here. I'm super grateful for these restaurants. However, like I'm from the north of Vietnam, and most of the restaurants here are founded by people from the south. No tea, no shades, no hate, but it's just that our food cultures is very different. The taste of it is also a bit different too. So today, I'll introduce to you my recipe of making pho. I have pho every single day in Vietnam before I go to school. Like my parents would give me a little bit like of money in the morning, and then that's what I'm gonna have. The great thing about pho is that you can just make a huge pot of it, and then you can just freeze the broth, and then you can just have it throughout the week or throughout the month. Here's my recipe, and I hope you'll like it and that you'll make it for your family because it's really delicious. And it's so close to my heart, and I love it so much. And so here's a part of my home, and I want to share it with you guys.
For the ingredients, we have 2 things of oxtails. I bought these at Walmart. And then we have beef stew steak, which I think I'm gonna have this like rare with the pho broth that will cook it. We have peppercorn, and you don't have to buy this, but I thought it would just make the broth look, taste a little bit stronger. So I bought this at Walmart. And then we have fish sauce and 2 yellow onions, and I love this that Amazon has. Like, I will leave the link in the description, but it has all the seeds and all the ingredients that I would need to make pho. So that I would just put in the broth. So in here we have anise seed, cinnamon, fructose, mumi, fennel seed, clove, coriander seed. I'm sorry for my pronunciation if that was wrong, but this is really convenient. It's just the perfect amount when you want to make just like a big pot of pho. So this is
usually in a normal pot it takes about 7 to 8 hours to cook a pot of pho, and today I want to just give you guys a shortcut to that. And the secret to a quick pot of pho is a huge pressure cooker. This will help you a lot, save you a lot of time. The meat and the bone will be cooked just as much as if you were to cook it 7 to 8 hours in a normal pot. So I highly recommend getting it. I forgot to mention that the shallot is also one of the ingredients that we're going to be using today. It really helps the pho broth to be a lot tastier.
You can see this step really helps to clear out all the impurities in the oxtail and the bone and help the water to be clear.
1 or 2 more minutes, and then we'll take them out and rinse them one more time. While we're waiting, we want to cut all the other ingredients in half and ready so that we can roast them on open fire. As you can see, there are a lot of impurities, and we'll just be pouring that away and change into a new water so it looks really clear. After that's done, I want to rewash the pot to make sure that all the meat, all the impurities is out of the pot, and then we're ready to refill it with the clean bones and clean water.
After you take all the impurity out, you put the bones back in. Now the bones are all clean and there's only good parts left, and we're gonna try to use the most out of it. Put it back up. This time we'll use a little bit more water because this time we're gonna use this water to do the broth. So after you're done like grilling the vegetables, which take a lot of flavors out of it, you'll go on to fry through the seed to get the taste out of that.
We'll put the rest of the cinnamon sticks I have. Peppercorn.
The rest of the pieces here. As you see, we have star anise, the anise seeds, and then we also have extra cinnamon in here.
I love every second of making pho because like the smell is so strong throughout this whole process, and it just reminds me of home so much. I have pho ever since I was in first grade. I go to school, and when I'm old enough to walk alone to school, like every morning I would buy me a bowl of pho on the vendor on the street, and now I'm just trying to look for that taste everywhere I go. Living away from home has really taught me a lot, and like I really never made pho before myself because at home like all the vendors on the street just cook amazing food, but being away from home has taught me to make my traditional food, and I've learned about so many other recipes, and it's just amazing to see different ingredients that make this beautiful bowl of pho. Guys, I wish that I could transfer the smell through this screen right now. It smells so good. It smells like home. Now the pressure cooker has been going for about an hour, and I think it's time to turn it off and just let that release the pressure. At this point, we basically want to clear everything out of the broth, just to make the broth as clear as possible.
Big pot under here, and then I have this filter thing, and then I have also this to make sure that it catches all the impurity and it catches all the other stuff that's in the water, and so that we can get the really clear water.
Wow, the meat is
Already like falling out, so you can see the effectiveness of the pressure cooker. And these are like from the tailbone, which is like meat are like super tight there, and it's already falling out from the bone. So that's the effectiveness of a pressure cooker, that you don't have to spend like hours and hours waiting, but yet you still have a really quality bowl of pho. Oxtail bone here, and that will be a part of the meat later on, and then we'll go work on our really delicious pot of that. We have a beautiful pot of broth like this, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take all the fat on top of the broth, and then I'll just skim all of that, because you know it's really fattening. It's the oxtail, so depending on how much fat you want on your bowl of pho, that you trying to skim all of that away. Step is that we will get this fish sauce in. for it, I just do it to taste, but for the sake of this video, I'll do it. To add to the flavor, I'll also put this pho broth that I got from, I don't remember if it was Vietnamese or Walmart, but here just for extra flavor. Next I have the brown sugar. As you can see, because it's been boiled, like it's been pressure cooked for so long, the beef fall off super easily. And so you just need to use 2 forks like this, and it will just fall right off.
After done tearing out the meat, I just put it in the fridge because I was saving it for dinner. Of course, and the last part is to boil the noodle, and just take the water out and make sure that you rinse it back with some oil or cold water just to make sure that it doesn't stick. For the meat, I dip them back to the hot broth that will soften out the meat and also bring to it a little bit of flavor. Here I have a little bit of shaved steak, which are really thin beef, so it only takes about 1 or 2 seconds to dip it in the really hot water to make it cooked about medium rare. Another important part is you want to make sure to buy and add garnish to our bowl of pho. Unfortunately, I couldn't buy like mint and bean sprout and things like that, but these are a couple of the garnishes that I really love. You can also add vinegar, soy sauce, or hoisin sauce to taste. Personally, I cannot have pho without vinegar and a lot of hot sauce. Let's try it. I honestly had so much fun filming this video, and thank you so much for watching. This is gonna be the longest video on the whole page because usually my cooking video is only 1 minute. I keep it to 1 minute because usually people don't have a lot of time to watch it, but this meal is really special to me and it's so close to my heart, so that's why I'm making like an extra long video today. Click follow and so we can make a meal together. I love you guys. Bye.